Well, I guess this is a movie of me telling you about myself. And yeah. So, where do I start? I don't necessarily want to tell you I'm gay or anything like that, but um, I don't really believe that we are gay. Except, of course, if you might be gay if you were loving the same sex as yourself, but not necessarily what you look like. Kind of confusing, but anyway, Miss K. Anyway, I just was thinking about the fact of about 3 years ago, I was coming to the point of this kitty. I was coming to the point of realizing that I was a gender, not a cis person, or if you want to say straight. But I was already uh, I was contemplating it beforehand and decided that was praying about it, and I was just talking and found out that I was something like a transgender, but not quite exactly specifically that. More like a bisexual. And so it sounds funny to me now that I'm saying it on screen, but so I mean, and being a trigender in soul. So I mean that's a little bit more intimate, if you might say. But I did post a couple other videos about being a bigender. That was before. Now I'm ascended into a trigender for the rest of my life. So not just this life, but the heavenly life too. So for the rest of eternity, as far as I can tell. Hey, Miss Kitty. Hey, Miss Kitty. Hey, Miss Kitty. Hello, Kitty. Whoops. See, Miss Kitty. Try to get you in the frame there. Yes, frame. Anyway, just gonna talk about the fact that I know some people are bigenders at this point. I used to be one too, but um, being a bigender at the point of most of my life already, for about 30 years. I'm almost 40 now, but it doesn't seem quite that short. In some ways, it does seem quite long. I mean, short. It does seem kind of short because it seems like I was only a teenager, just a kid the other day, and now I'm almost 40. My birthday is March, and that's when I'm gonna be 39. So, and so I just was thinking about how, uh, how I guess a bisexual and a bigender and a trigender work, or at least in my mind. They kind of have sort of like my body. For instance, me, I'm not just a male bisexual or a female bisexual. I'm both, and I have both female and male genitals, and I also have my body traits are kind of mixed between male and female. So uh, and so like soft skin, different shaped face and things like that. And right now I'm kind of hairy, so it's kind of like on the manly side right now. But maybe my face kind of looks a little bit more roundish, not so jagged. A little hard to tell with all the hair. But of course, by this age, probably getting a little bit of wrinkles. Not too many though, a little bit. And and so I just thinking, Uh, it's kind of funny. I look a lot like my dad too, but I guess that was a joke. So anyway, that's something else I would maybe not want to talk about online, but wouldn't want it to get back to my parents if someone watched it that was in the family. And I was gonna say that oh, and my how do I put this, like, to say, for me, it's been like there's the two parts to every person. They have the energy of a male or a female or both, and I have the energy of both. But then that's not the integrity of the person. The integrity of me is both as well. But I know some people, or should I say, I don't know, probably about half as much of the gender population. They have, the women have their men's souls, and the men have their women's souls, and the thing is that they, I mean, I'm speaking from my experience, not necessarily what somebody else has experienced. So, but then I know there's bisexual females and bisexual males, but I'm the both variety. So I guess that cuts my population down even more. So maybe a few thousand. I don't know how many. And so it's like it's like having a dual soul that way, a twin spirit, as you might say. So I guess that's what some of the natives would have said, as a twin spirit. So and so at least that's the way I see it. Some people would see it a little differently that way. What a twin spirit is, might be just being a transgender, but then having my integrity to be not a woman and not just a man either, but both. So it's kind of sliced in two. And then but then in the frame of a bigender, they have their thinking and their emotions and their will. It's kind of like you can have your will as a man or a woman, or your thoughts as man or woman, or your emotions are as the same way, either one, man or woman. And but then when it comes to so you can think like that, you can feel like that, you can have a will like that, as far as I know. And so, but then when it comes to a trigender, they're not better, they're not worse, they're just different, and they have their set of ways of being and relating to people too. So they kind of they have it feels kind of like in the brain. There's actually it's opposite for me, at least. It's opposite than when it shows on the gender code by Luca. She said that in her movie there was the left side was male and the right side was female, and how she said that. And for me, it's the opposite way. I got the women on the left side and I got the male on the right side. So on the left side of my brain is the woman, and so I can switch to that solely, and I can just be a female. And then on the right side is the male. I can switch to that solely, and then in the middle, on the back of my brain, closer to where the soul package is can be the that's the bigender, which isn't quite the same as the straight bigender soul. And so that way you can be both at the same time, and you can also mix the two together, as well as mixing the male and the straight male and the straight female together. Not the same as the other straight, but so it's kind of cool. I thought it was kind of awesome how we are created that way, and just how God has created us, and how how you say, how fancy, how intricate it can all be, how it all is that way. And I also do believe that because I was told by God that in heaven I would receive a glorified body that would be a tri body, and I would have things like that. I would have a woman body and a bigender body and a man body, and so I'd be able to switch fluently between the three of them. And so I guess that's a little bit of a moot point, but but because I mean I'm not there yet. I'm not my new body, my spiritual body. It's not here yet. So, and I don't know if I'll ever get it in this life. Might have to wait till next life. And so just um, just thinking, how that it'd just be really nice to have a body like that. And but I was quite sick before. I was quite sick before with some of the things that were done to me when I was a child, and I knew that I had to get healing, and well, I repented of someone else's sin, not my own, because it wasn't me that instigated it. It was more like a rape situation. So I mean, at that age too, it's kind of horrible, but at 5 years old, and a relative of mine coerced me into it, and then that happened, and I didn't remember it, and there's been many other times that I didn't remember that I had into those things, and I was gonna say that. So I got rid of those sins that were hanging on me. They weren't inside; they were just on the outside because they weren't my sins, someone else's. And so I was able to repent of those sins, and God forgave me and the other person for doing those sorts of things to themselves and to me, because sin affects everybody. It just doesn't affect cisses, and it just doesn't affect you know doesn't affect genders. It doesn't just affect one person. And if you were in the bout of having uh, if someone raped you, then you think it's part your fault, and well, it's not really your fault. It's just you have consequences of that. So I mean, I was getting very sick, and I hated my man parts. I didn't like them at all. I feared that they were gross and sinful and bad and evil and wicked, and all these things, all these words you could think of. I was just saying to myself that I didn't want to be a man anymore. I wanted to be a woman. And I I guess for a while I felt more womanly, and I wanted to dress as a woman. I wanted to do all these things as a woman. And so finally I did get some healing. I'm not fully healed yet, and still I had other problems in my life as well as different sicknesses like Tourette syndrome and schizophrenia, and those are in the past now, but still not 100%. And so it's just good to know that that sometimes that happens to people, that they get abused, and they get feeling that they don't want to be who they are. They want to be someone else. They don't like it, and that's part of the reason why, because they had something happen in their past, or their recent past even, but more along the lines of having it drag on and on and on, because that's what happened to me. At least that's from my experience, that it wasn't right away. It was years later that I found the point of needing to be healed from the sin that I had gone through, someone else's sin. And it's not that I didn't sin either. I had pride over who I was as a gender, too, as a bisexual. And I felt that I was too good to be true. So, and I was brought down low because of that for a while, and God restored me and made me whole again inside my soul. And so now, so now I thought it was good. So I would recommend that you watch that if you haven't done it already. Watch Luca's and that's all you have to go under is Luca for the name, and you'll find the gender code, or you can just type in the gender code and you'll find it. And it's about 2 hours long, and it talks all about how these things work. So in a general sense, not necessarily in depth like I wanted to go. So yeah. So I guess um I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to talk about, but that'll do for now. So catch you later.